Why hello and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your hosting guide, Zollin Ironshield. This is another LOTRO update, and I'm very excited to talk about this because this is something I've been wanting to be done in LOTRO for a long time. If you've been following the channel, and we're still pretty young at the time of making this video, barely 2 years. We're not even 2 years old yet. It's a little baby channel, but we're growing and we got a great community here. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you do enjoy Lord of the Rings content. But today we're going to talk about LOTRO in our update here, and I've been talking about something in this game for a long time because I've played since the very beginning. I've always really wanted there to be boats as a mount, as in you could travel across rivers. Well, guess what? Lord of the Rings Online executive producer talks about river hobbits and a new launcher, and even boats. So these are all very excited. So if you don't know right now what the launcher looks like, here's our launcher, right? So it's a little bit outdated, just a little bit. Now, I don't really want a really complicated, annoying, giant thing that slogs your computer, because one thing about this launcher that is nice is it doesn't use any CPU. It's really clean as in that way. But granted, it could use some updates. It could be a little bigger, maybe something more along the line of a normal client, that maybe just it fills up like, 1080 screen kind of thing. But, again, so they're going to do a big update with that. So the big thing to take off this video real quick for you is they're probably going to do river hobbits, as in river hobbits who were kind of the river hobbits that they're probably hinting at. Probably Gollum's people, right? Remember, they're the river folk. Remember, they weren't really quite hobbits. They're a little different, but they are kind of the same race, right? It's a little bit of vagueness there slightly. I think Tolkien did that on purpose, but he wanted them also realize that they are similar to hobbits. So there is some similarities there as well. But a new launcher, they technically are the same race, I believe. The new launcher, and then the boats, even boats. The boat thing is what I'm excited about. I've been saying for a long time that I would really, really, really like to have boats in the game. Now, a lot of people have always been like, oh, it's going to cause rubber banding and lag. Well, not really. If you ever swam down the river, right, there is a chance that could happen, but there's been less and less lag, and one thing they're trying to tackle greatly in LOTRO right now is reducing the lag. And I don't know how many out there playing can attest to this, but I know I can. As someone who's been playing from the very beginning, there used to be really bad lag, let's say, 6 years ago, like in the game, right? And I know that turns a lot of people off, but I'd like to tell you today, as someone who plays this a lot, you can watch my streams, I rarely lag. Occasionally, I'll have a tiny bit. Maybe in like a 3 or 4 hour session, I might have like 5 seconds with one spot where I lag for a second. Maybe when I walk into a new region or something. But really, it's pretty darn updated compared to when I used to play this a long time ago. So they're doing a really good job with that. I even used my mounted war mount the other day, and which is mounted combat, which I'd like updates on that too for the game. I love that system. I think it's really cool. It's one of the only MMOs I've ever been in that has like mounted combat like that. I think that would be really cool if they tackle that as well later. But I had very little problems with rubber banding too the other day, which I was impressed, because last time I did it, previous time I used my war mount, I don't know, like 3 years ago, I was still having a lot of troubles, but almost nothing. And I was like, hey, this is really good. So I know they're updating things and stuff on that. So I really don't think a boat mount would cause a problem. Now combat, that would cause a problem if they try to do that, but who knows what they'll do. Maybe an instance, that would be kind of cool. But anyway, so let's go through this real quick. Check it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Zollin wants me to remind you of that. Yes, I did. I reminded them, Zollin, you're good. All right, so if you thought you got all the big 2023 plans from Lord of the Rings Online for recent roadmap, think again. Yes, you think again right now, everyone. When you think, don't think you know everything. I don't even know everything. Come on. In a question and answer live stream, executive producer, excuse that sound in the background. I finished editing something. This nice person let slip I'm afraid I'm just gonna butcher their name, so I won't say it right now. Several other initiatives coming into the Middle Earth. The this is our abbreviation for the game. It's an MMORPG. Okay, this year or next. In the stream, he said that much of the requested river hobbits may come this year if they don't get bumped for other projects. Also, on again, I always love it when they're adding new content, but I know what he means by bumped by other projects is things like, like I'm talking about lag. Like there's some things that they're really trying to nail down that they do not have problems with anymore, right? Because that's a big thing that can turn people off, new players, right? And we don't want that. We want everyone to feel like, man, this game is awesome, because it is. It's freaking amazing. So you should come try it out with us. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And you can always join our Discord. Go to one of my live streams. You can get their links usually there. One of the newest ones. Also, on the tap for 2023 is the landscape difficulty slider for regular servers. Authentication launcher and more avatar options for the race of men and perhaps others. Wow, there's a lot packed into this, what this producer said. So they're really trying to, they're being competitive. They've always been a competitive game to an extent, but this is awesome. So again, let's break that down a little bit for the common thinking here. So the launcher, again, we talked about the launcher. So they want there to be an authentication system so people can't hack and steal your account as easy. That I do agree. I think that's something that's good. They should implement that well. You don't want to implement that where it starts causing login problems, right? So they're going to really have to make sure that's nailed down before they launch that new launcher. As of 2023 is a landscape difficulty slider for regular servers. Okay. Landscape difficulty slider. Interesting. Okay, that's interesting. So what that means is you can actually set the I'm going to translate that from my best of my knowledge. They're going to set the difficulty. You can change the difficulty of like mobs and creatures in the landscape. So let's say, for example, you're walking through the landscape and you're just destroying stuff. Maybe there will be a bonus to for that server. You turn it up to, I'm going to ratchet up to tier 2 enemies on the whole landscape limiting deeds. And now let's say maybe you can do deeds faster, or you get an extra reward for killing them, or maybe they drop better money or better loot, right? And it's much easier because you have max gear and everything stuff, right? That's probably the idea behind that. Again, a very cool thing to think about. I believe that is. If anyone knows better on that, you are welcome to leave a comment and I'll give it a like. And more avatar options for race of men and perhaps others, which is cool. Different looks, right, for your characters. I'm always down for that. Moving on to other possibilities, the person said, the executive, that the team is considering adding boats or even player houseboats. Ooh, to the little title. In the future. Title being the game, Lord of the Rings Online. That is exciting. So that's interesting. So maybe houseboats as in ones that are stationary as houses, or maybe you can move around on that you can live in. That would be cool. Or if anything, I would love them to just add the boats. There's two things I've been asking since almost the beginning of this game. I've always thought it'd be fun to have a boat to be able to travel in the water fast, right? The speed of a horse instead of swimming down a river. And then also, and if they could make it where somehow, when they do the boat, this is for them. If the team hears me, all right, from Lord of the Rings Online, Standing Stones, if you could make it where the camera could adjust differently than like a normal mount, so it's not just you're stuck on the back of your character when you back up and you could still look around, but like if you go too low, you go into the water kind of thing. Because that would be kind of frustrating. If you could slightly adjust it where that you could adjust your camera with a certain key or something, where you could position, look up out of your boat or something, besides being inside your character's head. Because what happens when you go in your head is at wide angles, which I like that effect. But it'd be cool if there was like another option for the camera, for cinematic reasons. That would be cool, because the game looks really nice. Anyway, side note, boats would be awesome. I've also always wanted there to be a flying system. So here's another thing. Will they, with the water system, with the water hobbits, will they implement the ability to go underwater and start making water look cool underneath? Kind of like, World of Warcraft has that, right? They've always had that. That's something you never really need in LOTRO, but it would be really cool to have, them to do textures under the water now and things under the water, and then have like quests, and so you can go under the water with certain, things. I think that'd be really cool. That's just my thought. I've always thought that since I was, first playing this game. And then of course that would give them the ability hopefully to go in the air too, because it'd be really cool to be able to I summoned my friend the eagle. Now again, is that very lore accurate? Not really. So I know if they want to stick with lore, but the bottom line is everybody wants to ride an eagle and look around because this game looks beautiful. And the better the graphics are, if you've noticed recently, the better the visual distance is. So in the new areas by Moss Ward, the visual distance rendering is gorgeous. So if you could go in the air and it renders, and they've updated it where you have a good computer, you can render that beautiful whole scenic view. Oh man, it'd be amazing. Anyway, side notes. Let's keep going through this real quick. Although not sure a thing at this point, a new and improved form is in the works. Good. Although the studio is more hesitant to take the steps into an official Discord server due to the moderation involved. Yeah, I'm gonna just point this out right now for Standing Stones and for everyone. I don't think they should do a Discord. The reason being is it would be good if they could talk to the community. They already listen to the community pretty darn well on what people say, but they already have to do stuff with the comments a lot in the actual LOTRO.com, and I'm just afraid that it'll take up too much of their time. I want them to be able to work on the game for us, right? Because I know that they're hiring staff right now. They're increasing because there's more and more players right now, and they're doing massive updates to the game. But I don't want them to have to take away staff from doing things like, you know, updating, getting rid of lag, updating new areas, doing these boat systems, doing these other cool things they could be doing, because they need 5 people to work on answering questions all the time from Discord, right? You know, if they could have maybe just one person, maybe, but moderating a huge Discord, which will probably have thousands of people join after a while, that's a lot of work, right? I mean, I have some wonderful moderators for our Discord here on the channel. So, yeah, that's something that's up to them, but I would recommend at this point they hold off on doing something like that. That's just my opinion. As for the topic of lag, there we go. There we go. Well, we were just talking about that in this update video as well as the last update video I did. If you watched it, you can go back and watch it. We talked about 2023. A lot of cool stuff. The executive producer said that the constant work is being done to address it, and the engineers have a fix that looks promising. So they're not, again, I know some of you still have lag. You've told me that. I've had way less than I used to, almost none. But that's really cool to know that they think they have a fix to it where they won't. I'm assuming they're updating servers and a bunch of other stuff too, where the server banks are. But again, here's the video. You can go on YouTube and Q&A with executive producer there. Severlin, I think that's how you say the name. I know I was avoiding it the whole video, but anyway. Yeah, great. This is a great article. You can see it right here. I like this massively overpowered site. They do some good little info hings here and now and then. So yeah, check it. I will link that for you there as well. But I will see you all in the next episode of Voice of the Rings. And come join us in LOTRO or any other Tolkien content on the channel. Like and subscribe buttons there. Next episode will be up there for updates. And Zollin picked a video playlist over there, which is LOTRO Tale, my voiceovers in Lord of the Rings Online, which I enjoy doing thoroughly. Baruch Hazat Kuzat menu. I'll see you all in the next episodes of Voice of the Rings.